Hey guys, welcome to my channel. During autumn and winter, we move many of our tropical plants and succulents indoors. Due to changes in the environment, lower intensity light, poor ventilation, and a lack of natural predators indoors, some plants often attract pests at this time. The most common pests include mealybugs, scales, and spider mites. Recently, these pests have ballooned in number in our greenhouse. The main problems right now are mealybugs and scales. Some of our infested plants include osmanthus, hoya, alocasia, and begonias, as well as some succulents and orchids. We have taken some measures to combat these pests. So in this video, I want to share the strategies we use to tackle this problem with you, including some organic, safe pesticides often used by professionals. I hope this video is helpful to you. If you know a better way to kill pests, please leave a message below so that we can learn from each other. Mealybugs are pale gray in appearance and in the later stages of their life cycle are covered with a layer of white fuzz. Mealybugs attach to the leaves and branches of plants and suck sap, causing plant leaves to turn yellow, branches to wither, and in severe cases, plant death. These insects gather together usually on new growth and reproduce rapidly. High temperatures and high humidity are conducive to the reproduction of mealybugs, exacerbating any existing infestation, and we can reduce the population growth of mealybugs by reducing humidity. When the humidity is lower than 38%, the hatching rate of their eggs decreases by 89%. When the humidity is below 15%, the nymphs begin to die in large numbers. A dry environment, therefore, is not conducive to serious mealybug infestation. We can place susceptible plants in a well-ventilated, dry area to reduce humidity and avoid mealybug infestations. Scales in their adult form are covered in a thick, waxy layer and are immune to many pesticides. They reproduce quickly and their eggs are oval in shape. These eggs are light pink at first, gradually changing to light yellowish brown, and then orange-red before hatching. Scales often cluster on branches and suck nutrients or cause damage to fruit and leaves. As mealybugs and scales damage plants, they also produce honeydew, a sweet-tasting liquid. Ants love to eat this sugary excrement. In winter, it is difficult for ants to find food, so they will actually transport these pests and cultivate them on plants like tiny herds of livestock, protecting them from predators. These pests reward the ants with their honeydew. If you see a lot of ants around plants, it is often not a good sign. At this time, you should check the plants for infestation with mealybugs, scales, or aphids. You should also target the ants. Another type of common pest is the spider mite. Spider mites are a type of tiny arachnid called a mite and are fairly common. Although they are called red spider mites, they are much smaller than ordinary spiders. They are even smaller than mealybugs and scales by a wide margin, and are generally easy to overlook. When you look carefully at the leaves of an orchid and find tiny, barely visible red specks moving, it is most likely a spider mite infestation. Another sign of heavy infestation can be tiny wispy webs similar to those spun by spiders, but not all spider mite species spin webs. To confirm a spider mite infestation, take a damp paper towel. Gently grip the leaf in question with the paper towel and run the paper towel down the leaf. If there are spider mites, they will be squished by this and will leave orangish smears on the paper towel. Both adult and young spider mites suck chloroplast out of individual cells. They do not suck sap like other insect pests and leave no sticky residue. This leads to a dusty silver look on infected leaves, as the individual plant cells which have been drained will change from green to silver white. Eventually, the plant will start the process of abscission, withdrawing chlorophyll from the leaves and turning them yellow before they fall off. The spider mites will then move to a new leaf. Spider mites are the opposite of mealybugs. They hate humidity and will reproduce more slowly in a humid environment. They also hate water, and the daily spraying of the leaves will reduce their population growth heavily. When we discovered that some of our plants were infested by these pests, we took some measures to reduce the pest population. We first adopted biological control methods. We purchased 3 different insects to introduce into our greenhouse in an attempt to control the mealybug, scale, and spider mite populations. These insects include ladybugs, lacewings, and predatory mites. Ladybugs feed on pests in their adult and larval stages, mainly aphids, scales, whiteflies, and mealybugs. Lacewings can also prey on a variety of pests, including whiteflies, mealybugs, and various aphids. In addition, lacewings also like to eat the eggs of many pests. Lacewing eggs hatch into lacewing larvae. They eat large amounts of pests before entering the adult stage. Finally, we bought predatory mites. Predatory mites can suppress spider mite populations very effectively. We released a total of 300 insects in the greenhouse. It wasn't long before we discovered that the insects were preying on the pests. The use of biological control methods is environmentally friendly and safe and will not cause harm to human health. The disadvantage is that you need a confined space, such as a greenhouse, screen-in balcony, or sunroom. If your plants are indoors and cannot be separated from people's living spaces, then biological control methods are not easy to use, because no one wants insects flying around the house. I think biological control is best suited to preventing pest infestations. They should be used when the pests are not very serious. When pests are serious, I think it's best to use more immediate solutions like chemical controls. We can use cotton swabs dipped in isopropyl alcohol to wipe the areas infested by insect pests. If the leaves are too dense and difficult to wipe, you can directly spray the severely affected part with alcohol. You can also use vinegar and water at a ratio of 1:1 and soak the plants in it or wipe it directly. We like to use this all-seasons horticultural and dormant spray oil. It is made up of 98% mineral oil and 2% other ingredients. When we mix this mineral oil with water and then spray it on the plants, the mineral oil will cover any pests that are sprayed. Arthropods breathe through stomata, tiny holes dotted throughout their exoskeletons, and the oil fills those pores, suffocating them. This method is very effective. After I use it on this Hoya, it is much better now. All the mealybugs have been removed. Because the main ingredient is mineral oil, it is relatively safe compared to other pesticides. I found that after using it, the leaves of the plant became clean, shiny, and very beautiful. Therefore, I think that even if there are no pests and disease, we can also use it on some foliage plants to increase their ornamental value. One thing to note is that since it is an oil, you should avoid exposing your plants to direct sunlight after use, especially in summer. Otherwise, the plants can easily get sunburned. Overall, I still recommend this mineral oil. It is very convenient to use, has quick results, is cheap, and is relatively safe. I have talked to a few other orchid professionals who also use this mineral oil. Another type of pesticide we often use are systemic pesticides. Systemic pesticides refer to a form of pesticide that kill pests systemically. These pesticides are applied to the plant. The pesticide is first absorbed by the roots, stems, and leaves of the plant, and then quickly spreads to all parts of the plant, remaining in the plant tissue for a period of time, thereby killing any pests which feed on the plant. The most common type of systemic insecticide are neonicotinoids. While they are effective at killing many plant-biting pests, they also have two drawbacks. One is that they can harm pollinators, such as bees, so they should not ever be used on outdoor flowering plants. Another disadvantage is that they have the opposite effect on spider mites. Instead of killing them, they cause their numbers to increase extremely dramatically. Therefore, we should pay attention to these potential problems when using these pesticides. Overall, I think biological control methods are environmentally friendly and safe, but are more suitable for preventing pests or tackling pest infestations which are not yet serious. They are also most effective in an enclosed space, and so are more suited for those who have a greenhouse, enclosed balcony, or sunroom. Chemical control gives quick results at a low cost. I personally recommend using mineral oil to kill pests. I hope that this video will be very helpful to you. If you have had luck using other methods to control pests, please leave a message below. Also leave a message if you have had serious problems with other pests that we didn't mention. We have also had problems with slugs in the past and made a video on that. Thank you for watching and see you next time.